Hey guys, and welcome back to Legomaster627's Creations. So today it is Tuesday, September 17th, 2024. Now, I first off want to apologize because this episode was supposed to be out on Monday, September 16th. One of the main reasons is because I was actually out of the house for a while and actually got kind of tired. Not to mention, the Club Penguin Journey update came out very close to midnight and I needed to cover that as soon as possible. Not to mention, I actually had to redo the whole video because my voice wasn't in it. So that took a long time. So by the time I did that, it was midnight. I was way too tired to even think about doing this episode. It is now one day later, and it is now 7 p.m. EST on September 17th. Now, before we officially jump back into the current house project, I need to make two announcements. One, regarding our fall event that we will be seeing in the next episode. I want to confirm that the event is now no longer a 2-week event. It has now been pushed down to 1 week, now ending on September 30th rather than October 7th. Main reason is because, do we really need it to go into October? Secondly, the Halloween event is very far away, and the only reason I made the event 2 weeks back in the day was because it always had the event for Halloween begin immediately after. Meaning we would have only gotten 1 week of downtime if it was only a week for the fall event. But since it's much farther away this time around, let's only have the fall event be a week. Not to mention, I'm hoping to get the house project done by the end of the month on September 30th. I feel it only makes sense to have the event gone so we can finish it that day. Second announcement. If we head into the cat dispenser, you can see that 3 out of the 9 pieces of paper have been removed. This mainly being the 2 cats, 3 cats, and 4 cats. They have now been removed, and now only ones that remain are the names and then have all 5. This is mainly because at this point, I feel we only need to have 1 cat per episode unless it's an event tour where we need all 5. I mean, if we do get all 5 in a single episode, that's cool. But I think it makes more sense nowadays to just have at least 1 cat, and then if it eventually does give me the all 5, then we'll do it. So, yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Speaking of which, let's actually see what we get. PETA! Okay, guys, so we are back in the house, and we left off here on Rose Crystal's room, the bathroom, and my room, respectively, where PETA happens to be laying in. Now, you may notice that there is now a door implemented here. This is in reference to the pantry. You may also notice that there is now tiled floor here in the kitchen. This is mainly because this is exactly what it looked like in the room. Now, it's not fully complete as there's actually supposed to be a wall here. But before we officially jump into that, we need to get the following pieces. There we go. We got them now. So, we need polished granite right there. This is for the counter. The oven will go right here alongside another counter since there are 2 counters next to the stove, in between the stove. That's a better way to say it. Then the fridge goes right here, mainly because of how huge it is. Similarly to my old one. We will put 2 doors right here to represent it. And now we're also going to need to put a wall right here, which will connect into the garage area, completing the kitchen respectively. Yeah, at least that side of it, that is, because you see, that's only half the room. You see, the reason why it's properly angled like this is actually because this room is actually a lot bigger than you think. You see, I didn't think so, but granted, because I'm still in this house, I have free will to go out there and show you guys how this properly looks. Meaning, I have full advantage to do the following. Going this way, where you can see that there are walls here. Because in the room, this is a much smaller kitchen compared to my old house, just to clear things up. I want to clarify that real quick. This is a much smaller kitchen according to my old house. Yeah, instead of my old house. And yeah, it should be noted that. That is actually legit, actually. So I'm like not messing around in that reality. Now that that is done, I know this is this kitchen's kind of angled a little weird, so we may get this slightly incorrect. But granted, that is completely fine. This kitchen is slightly angled off a little bit, so that's probably why we might get this wrong slightly. And that's completely fine if we do, because I'm not expecting it to be fully like that. I'm going to be wrong extremely quickly. And I know that I am, because first off, again, it's angled weird. That is much more like it. First of all, we will have this right over here. And then we will put the door like that. Actually, scratch that. It is meant to look like this. Much better. There we go. We now have a direct pathway to the garage. Very, very nice. And actually, there is kind of a curve here. So that's kind of why this is angled like this, by the way. So, now we're going to need is the, just a second here. Let me just grab this. Where the frick is it? There it is! We are also going to need the wood, similarly to the old kitchen, where certain stuff, such as a rack, was actually placed here in the old house, respectively. So that's back here as well. Another thing we're going to need is, of course, the island itself, which is implemented like this. So this is implemented the way it should be, but it is slightly bigger now, mainly because we have a much bigger island compared to, well, actually, the island is actually the same size as my old house. We've never actually properly gotten rid of it, but probably, you know, thank God actually, because I actually like it. Actually, give me just a second, that's kind of angled wrong. See, does that work? Yeah, that's more like it. That is much more like it. There we go. It's done. There we go. That looks much better. And that is much more angled properly. Now that that is done, we need to now go ahead and make this. Which should actually be interesting because, well, first off, this actually should not take long at all. Considering this is mainly just the sink area, and this actually should not take long at all. The reason I say that is actually mainly because this is actually really small. Where the frick is it? The frick is the cauldrons? There they are, finally, I found them. Yeah, this shouldn't take long. It's mainly just this. And there you go, that part of the room is done. Like, guys, I'm not kidding. That's it for the whole room. Pretty much. Like, guys, you do not understand how freaking easy that was. The kitchen is angled kind of weird, but with good angling, you can actually get it to work, which is actually really cool. Now, we're going to go ahead and continue the dining room, which now we can do it because the wall is angled the way it should be, meaning this shouldn't take long at all. We can actually start the room, and what's crazy is that we can actually use the same pieces that we used for the dining room table back in the old house, mainly because it's literally the exact same one. This is mainly because, first of all, that's how it looks. The following pieces that we're going to need include that, and then we are also mainly going to need, give me just one second. There they are. Here are the following pieces that I'm going to need. And I also need to fix the island one more time because I just looked out there and it actually looks like this. Much better. Now we're finally done. Now I can finally do the dining room table. And I mean for real this time. I can finally do it. Since this is more angled properly here, I don't need to worry about doing too much. And well, would you look at that? The dining room's already done. That only took like not even a minute. Holy frick, we're going for this quick. Okay guys, so I actually just realized I needed to add some slight improvements such as some cabinets, which did not take long. Well, actually that was the microwave. Here are the actual cabinets and they look like this. Just for the record. There we go. Done. Finally! Oh, and I did actually have to re-angle this a bit because I realized it was actually a lot bigger than I thought. So, yeah, the room's been slightly re-angled, but we're all good now. Frick, I forgot about the dishwasher. There we go. Okay, now we can proceed on to the living room. This is gonna be interesting, to say the least. I say that because, holy frick, hold on, let me just turn down my volume. That is loud. Oh, dude, that is better. That is much better on me. Holy frick, that's loud. On my end, to be exact. Yeah, no, I can only blame myself for the volume being insanely loud. Thankfully, though, this room is rather big. And I know this because, again, I'm still in it. So I can literally just go out there right now, and I'm going to go see how this looks. The living room is one of the places that we spend the most time in. It also was in my old house as well. So that's pretty cool, right? Oh, and this wall is pretty much straight from this point forward, so there's like no more angles that need to be said. Because like the door here is pretty much on the edge of this garage, so actually that floor where the door is actually needs to be gray. But yeah, this shouldn't take long actually. What I'm gonna do is I am going to probably implement the rest of the floor off camera. And then what I'm going to do after that is I am probably going to pull out all the furniture off camera and then implement it on camera. Because you see, there are lots of furniture in this room. Okay, I think we got the size correct. Now, let's pull out all the furniture. Okay guys, so first off we need to put in the giant mirror, which is right here to be specific. Which, just for the record, holy frick, I forgot how huge this mirror truly is. Like, my god. You guys don't realize, this mirror is huge. This huge to be specific. There you go, there's the mirror. Actually, that makes more sense. Now, there's normally a lamp right here that separates the dining room and living room, respectively. So we are going to have to implement a lamp very, very, very similarly to the one that we see in Rose Crystal's room. The lamp separates the two rooms, so we're going to have to do it properly. Specifically right there, as it separates both of the rooms, respectively. Now what we're going to need to do is actually go ahead and do that again, because I realized... yeah, that actually makes a lot more sense. Okay. What we are going to need to do now is implement... give me just a minute. Where the frick are the bookshelves? Thank you! Finally, holy frick. What's good about the living room is that a lot of the things are actually copied from the old house. So, what's actually really funny is that I can literally just use the old things that were actually here back in the day. So, that's actually really cool because I actually can just take advantage of that and just use them. So, for example, I can literally just do this and be done. That makes more sense. Now what we need to go ahead and do is implement the coffee table back into the room. This is going to be interesting mainly because I need to purposely clarify that you're going to be kind of surprised because this is going to kind of shock you, but the couches in the room have actually been changed. I never showed you them because I never really got a chance to, but I may show them in the future if you guys are interested. Now then, there's meant to be a little perch area right here, specifically where this is. So that's going to be interesting. The only problem is that this is slightly off-angled, which means we might need to make this just a little bit bigger because apparently, yeah, this is a little more off-angled than I intentionally thought. Okay, now let's see if it works. So what I might do is go ahead and also re-angle this because I realized this is actually a lot bigger than I actually thought it was going to be. And that's actually not a joke. This is actually way bigger than I actually thought it was going to be. Because you see, yeah, I think that's more appropriate. Now that we have that over with, let's go ahead and implement the couches, which, like I just said, actually were updated, which actually was back in July. Which again, I still haven't gotten a chance to show you that. Hopefully I will in a future Midnight Fun, which yes, I do promise to actually get back to that series. I do actually promise. I'm actually gonna get back to that series, guys. I'm actually like dead serious. I am gonna get back to that series soon. Please do look out for that. Okay guys, so I had my mom come in and tell me, yes, I did get this right. So I did have to do some reorganizing, but granted, everything looks just fine. As soon as we implement the buffet, which she told me, it should look the correct size. So that's why things look kind of off. So that's good to know, because now I know exactly what I need to do. Now, thankfully, it is the exact same size as my old house, as it is ironically the exact same one. So let's go ahead, and there we go. One other thing we need to do, though, is implement a little carpet. And, well, there you have it, guys. It is done. Woo! Now all we need to do is go ahead and implement this, which is actually just the front door, and we're actually done. At least with the inside. Outside of over here, you gotta be freaking kidding me. God dang it. We're not done. Well, we're done with the main outside, the main rooms, thankfully. We just need one more bedroom and we are done, which is actually really good because holy frick, this project is insane. But I can confirm we're basically done outside of the garage, a bedroom, and that's it. There you go. Let's go! Yes! Okay guys, so all I need to add now is just a window, which is right over here. And then it will look practically the way it should be. Like this. We're good. Okay guys, so one other thing we need to add is a lamp right here, and we're done. Alright. I actually can't believe we freaking did it. Holy frick. Okay, so I had to re-angle it slightly, but we're good. Now we can gladly work on the outside of the house. Well, at least right here, at least. We'll deal with the front yard in a later video. I want to at least get over here done first. Just the outside walls real quick, and then I will gladly come back in a later video and finish the rest. I think this video is already long enough as it is. We're already almost 18 minutes in, and I kind of just want to end the video now. And then I realized we need to get this room done, but good news for you, it is a pretty small room, so this actually will not take actually as long as you think to actually build this. Mainly because this is, again, a pretty small room, so we can actually build this all within only actually just a few minutes. Which is actually kind of a surprise because normally that's not possible here. But look at that, we're already done! You're freaking welcome! Actually, that's really good considering we still got at least one more room to build before we officially call this house complete on the inside. Which is actually really cool. Now, there's actually two entrances. One right here and one over here. So let's implement those real quick. Alright guys, so I just built in some walls for these rooms, meaning they actually will not take long because I actually just did a lot of the wall building off camera, which is good considering this video is insanely long. Holy frick. So, just for the record, by the way, we're going to need to go across the house because there are certain items that we are going to need to get the job done. Respectively speaking, wrong room. Over here. Too far out. Over here. And then we're going to need to go over here. Grab that. And we're good. Now, there is only one sink here, which makes a lot of sense. So, we're going to go ahead and do this. Yep, there were only one sink in this whole house. At least, this room. My bad. There we go. And of course we do have a mirror, so of course we need to implement that. And that's actually it for the room, really. Like, guys, I'm not kidding around anymore. I'm not messing around anymore. I'm, like, doing exactly what it's supposed to be. There you go. And one last thing we need, really freaking quick, is just this, then this, and where the frick is the magma? There it is. There we go. This is slightly curved, so it looks more like this. And it's actually quite a big tub, so that's why this is going to be filled slightly more. See? There we go. See? It's filled slightly more because it's a little bigger. Now, as for the actual shower itself, this shouldn't take long at all, considering it's literally just right here. Yep. That's it. Guys, I'm not kidding. That's it. That's literally it for the whole room, guys. I'm not kidding around anymore. Literally, we're literally done now. Yep, we're done. We are done. We are freaking done with the whole room, guys. Outside of the closet, which I don't think I really need to do. I will add in a door, though. This one is good enough. It is close enough. There you go. And, guys, we did it! We freaking did it! Let's go! The entire inside of the house is officially finished, except for the garage, but I'll deal with that another day. Or probably off camera. But there we go, guys! We did it! The inside of the house is done. We'll deal with the front yard in a later video. After the fall event, though, the day it ends. So do look out for that. Sorry that this is a bit longer than normal. I hope that the next one's not this long, at least in terms of this house. I'll see you next time for the fall events.